Hey everyone, yes, and the title says it best. Happy Halloween. It is October 31st, 2019, and yes, this is live. I do apologize for any stream interruptions or skips or whatever that may occur. And as you can tell by the light being in the background there, it is indeed early where I'm at. It is about, if I can here, 7:28 a.m. and the light just went off, almost 7:30. I got here at my job, believe it or not, around I would say about 6:24, 6:24, 6:25. The reason being is I'm scheduled, unlike the past couple of days and tomorrow, I'm scheduled to work at 8 a.m. today to 4:15 p.m. The reason being is, of course, it's Halloween, and we're not too sure whether or not it's going to be very, very busy. So so there's that. We're not really sure if it's going to be extremely busy or it's not going to be busy or anything, but what are you going to do? Now, the video you saw before this that was also live streamed was me on my bus. That's the first bus of the day, every day, except for Sundays. But that's the first bus of the route that I go on every morning to get to work. I usually take about the 7:30 or the 9:15 bus, depending on when I'm scheduled. So yeah, basically, I had to take what's known as the 5:45 a.m. bus, which is one of the buses that you have to actually transfer off of and onto another bus to get to your destination. Now, you're probably wondering, are you going to dress up? Well, I'm taking a page out of my dad's old playbook, and I've been doing this for the past several years. And that is, if you don't have the finances, or you don't have a means of getting something new, stuff like that, then mainly go back to your trait, go back to what brought you to the dance, or basically go back to what you did the year prior. You see, last year I had my Superman costume, which I had the year prior to that. I have a Spider-Man one somewhere in the house, but I couldn't find it, so I went with Superman. So I will be wearing that later on today, depending whether or not they send me out to do carts, because one of the things about my job lately is the scheduling has not been very favorable. Recently, we lost one of the cart pushers that has been with the company since I started. In fact, he and I both started out as cart pushers, and I slowly went back into cashier, and I was more ready for that than anything else. And he at one time was also ready to be a cop, was ready to do that, but he was more in favor of being outside, because I guess him a little bit more freedom, and it does give you a bit more freedom. So I don't know whether or not they're going to send me outside, because if they do, I'm not going to be able to don my costume for that long, because I don't want it to get dirty or damaged. I mean, I could wear it, but it's going to be a little awkward. I mean, yes, it'd be nice for the kids to say, "Oh, there's Superman right there." So, but yeah, it's going to be a little weird. Well, not a little weird, but it's going to be kind of up in the air and what we see happening. But yeah, I am here at work. I've got about 30 minutes or less now to before I clock in. But I also need time to put the don the cape and the don the costume and the cape, if you know what I mean. Um, so you're probably wondering what we're doing for Halloween. Well, me and my mom apparently will be, if things don't change, me and my mom are going to be going over to my older sister's and spending a bit of Halloween there. Maybe not as long as we usually do, but long enough. Basically, long story short, my sister also is working like I am, but she works at night. So I don't know if they're going to give her a short shift or anything. And you can probably see GameStop from right here. I don't know if you can really see that. But yeah, she's got to work tonight as well. She works for Kohl's. She works at the warehouse. So, of course, she's got to work at night. And basically, she's got to how do I put it? She's basically got to help sort things in the warehouse. I'm guessing they're gonna have something for them, maybe a little Halloween party or contest, because they got some kind of costume contest going on here at my job. So it's or will be going on here at my job. I don't know if they're gonna provide lunch or anything, but yeah, they might have something for her because she's working, and her co-workers are working on a night they should be technically with family. So it's going to be really interesting what happens. You probably see some some of my breath as well right now. It is cold. Last time I checked, it was about 37, and you could probably hear that crunch there. That's the grass that's frosted over. So it is getting colder now. It still gets warm during the day, but it's getting colder. We do know that daylight savings time comes to an end on Sunday, mostly at 2 a.m., basically 2 hours after midnight. So technically, we're all going to be falling back. So, and that's going to be really interesting when it occurs. Like I said, it's going to be really interesting when it occurs and everything. So just looking around here. But yeah, it's one of those situations. But yeah, that. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. And speaking of daylight savings time and Halloween, I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard about this. But there is reports going around, rumors going around for the past several years that many states, if not the entire country, many groups, many opponents, or whatever you want to call it, opposition. There's many people that want to change things, change these very two, like I said, they want to change these very two things that I just talked about that will be occurring. There are a lot of people that are proponents or supporters, I should say, of trying to move Halloween to the last Saturday of the month, which means it wouldn't be on the 31st of October anymore. It would be on the last Saturday of the month. So if we look at today being the 31st and last week being the 24th, then Halloween would have been on the 26th. That's what they're looking at. It's like, we get it. I mean, basically, that's what they're looking at. They're looking at like, well, you got the weekend. The 26th is coming up. We could do it then. It makes it more easier. A lot more families can get together and do it. Let the kids stay out longer, go trick-or-treating. But there is a bit of an opposition to that. You see, as great as that sounds, and mainly as well, it would allow kids to go to school for the rest of the week, even dress up the day before Halloween to go in the parades and all that, or just have it be part of their spirit day or whatever it is that they do at the school that week or the day before. As great as that might sound to a lot of people, the one thing that I think kind of holds back this this change from happening, what holds it back is the weekend itself. Many people have to remember that that if you put Halloween on the weekend, Halloween is going to become basically the equivalent, maybe not as much, but it basically become the equivalent of New Year's and 4th of July and all that. You're basically turning Halloween into a party holiday where it gives many people an excuse to go out, party, and drink at all these Halloween themed like parties and environments, and that could cause a dangerous environment for those around that are trying to take their kids out trick-or-treating, specifically the kids. So I don't think that's going. So I honestly don't think this little suggestion or petition or whatever they call it is going to fly. I really don't think it's going to work. The other reason I don't think it's going to work is because a lot of people associate the Mexican holiday, which I'm part Mexican, but I don't really celebrate it. But basically, they associate the Day of the Dead with Halloween. So by trying to switch over Halloween to another date, you might as well be trying to say, hey, Mexican culture, we're switching over Halloween to the last Saturday of the month. Why don't you do that with the Day of the Dead? And that may not be the case, but still, people would think, hey, if we're doing this, maybe you should do it for your culture. And to me, it just doesn't work. It's not going to fly. I think it's a very reasonable decision to make. So I'm hoping, because even though some might say it didn't pass anyway, it's not going to pass or it didn't pass, it's still out there. Every year, certain states, if not the entire country, with these groups within it, are going to find a way to make this happen. It may not be now, may not be next year, but they're going to make it happen. The same thing with daylight savings time. There are certain parts of the country, small portions of the country, that don't observe daylight savings time or standard time. They don't observe spring forward, fall backwards. They observe just one time frame. There are parts of Arizona and Ohio and other parts of the country, like I said, small, decent size, that do that. And it does throw people off a little bit, because it's like, wait a minute, why would you want to observe something when pretty much a lot of what goes on, hinges and depends on going with this traditional flow? It doesn't make any sense. So there's a lot of laws being passed, a lot of bills, proposed bills and stuff being passed in various states, even here in California, to abolish daylight savings time or standard time and just keep one time frame. So in other words, let's say, for example, like I said, daylight saving times ends on Sunday, officially ends on Sunday, more along the lines of 2 a.m. early Sunday morning, very late Saturday night. Let's say the law was in effect right now here in California. Then if we fall back to, let's say when it hits 2, we fall back to 1, and let's say that's when the law would come into effect, then 1 o'clock, at 1 o'clock, that would be when we would start this new time zone thing, this new time standard. So in other words, come April of next year, we wouldn't spring forward. We'd just be like, we're stuck at this now. That's it. End of story. Again, it wouldn't work. It would not work. And the other thing is, because it wouldn't work, is you got a lot of businesses, out there, networks, if you will, television networks, cable channels, and all that rely on on the spring forward, fall backwards time change that occurs every year. And they're not about to just sit back and say, okay, go ahead and change it, that's fine, mess us up, screw us up, we don't mind. No, they're not going to do that. I mean, now I know some might say, oh, well, they'll adjust and everything. Really? So let me ask you this. If you're a fan of, let's say, The Bachelor, just an example, and The Bachelor comes on around 8 o'clock, 7 Central, or 10 o'clock, 9 Central, are you going to be thrilled at the fact that, okay, we fell back one day, back to 1 o'clock, and all that? You think you're going to be happy with that? No. You think you might be happy with that? Well, maybe not. Because let's say you are so adjusted to the spring forward, fall backward scenario, that all of a sudden when you decide to spring forward and you remember, oh, we can't do that, or you just decide to spring forward out of habit, let's say you do that, you end up missing your viewing of The Bachelor. You end up missing your viewing of The Good Place, or The Good Doctor, or this show or that event or this event. You end up missing that programming because you're so adjusted to basically having things the way you see them. You're not used to certain things being the way they would be. And that's the truth. That is the absolute truth. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows that, which to me is why, just like with the proposal to move Halloween to the last Saturday of October, I don't think any proposal to, you know, end daylight savings time. I honestly, I'm just looking at my time here. I honestly don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I think honestly, daylight savings time and the whole fallback spring forward deal is going to remain, and Halloween's just going to be the way it is. Because again, you try to switch Halloween to the last Saturday of the month, you're essentially giving it free reign to become like New Year's and the 4th of July. And I know some people don't like to hear that, but it's pretty much true. So, but anyway though, guys, I just wanted to come on here, wish you guys a happy Halloween, let you know what's going on. Of course, tomorrow is November 1st, and tomorrow or the next day, which is Saturday, November 2nd, or maybe even Monday, which would be the 4th, is the beginning of something that if you listen to your music choice channels on your cable system, whether it's Comcast, Xfinity, AT&T, whatever, expect between tomorrow and Monday to hear start hearing the sounds of Christmas music and all that. Because if you go down to Sounds of the Seasons, between the time frame of the 1st and the 4th, starting tomorrow, you're going to get some Christmas music, believe it or not. So again, guys, just wanted to come on here, wish you a happy Halloween, let you know what's happening, give you my thoughts on some things, and that's really about it. So thank you all for watching. God bless. Take care. Take care. Yeah, be safe tonight. Check your kids' candy when they get them, and just have fun. And again, like I said, God bless. Take care, and may God watch over you in your safety tonight, and have fun. And that's all I can say. So happy Halloween, guys, and I am out.